Okay, folks, I want to welcome you to another post-game conversation where you get to hear directly from Tribe football alums. For this episode, we have Mr. Stephen Cason. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well, doing well. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you on, man. I really enjoyed just catching up with you over the last couple of weeks. I think we identified we hadn't talked to each other in close to 20 years.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, it was kind of
Too long, too
crazy.
long, too
Yeah,
long.
yeah, too long. But I'm just happy to have you on. So let's get rolling. Um, so let's. What year did you graduate? What position did you play? And what was your major?
Okay, I graduated class of 2006. My major, I was the Mason School of Business, so majored in marketing. And then position, I played defensive back and kick returner.
Awesome. Okay, another School of Business alum. I love that.
So,
I don't think I knew that, so thank you. So talk. When we were talking, you had a great story about pre William and Mary. Go ahead and share that with us if you don't mind.
yeah, so I'm from the Richmond, Virginia area. At a high school, James River High School, which it was a new high school in the area. Um, So going into my senior season, I had no offers.
Wow.
And one thing I wanted to do is, go to different camps to try to get seen and get some exposure. So at the time, I was a Michigan fan. Charles Woodson was my guy. Our local superstar at Huguenot High School was David Terrell. Everyone loved him. He was actually at Michigan. And at the time, Michigan had one of the best camps. It was a 5-day camp, so they were a good team. So I traveled to Michigan's camp, just trying to, get exposure. Went there, was able to compete at a high level, played with some of their guys, Marlon Jackson, Ernest Shazar, got some exposure at the camp. After that, went to Northwestern's camp because Northwestern was sending letters but not really throwing out offers. So Michigan and Northwestern was the trip. So after the Michigan camp, I ran into a DB coach for Cincinnati. At the time, I was not familiar. He, took a onus to me, talked to me, found out I was a VA kid, and was, threw his name out there. We shared contact. So that happened to be Mike Tomlin.
Which I
So
did not know Mike Tomlin coached at Cincinnati. So before we talk, thank you. Before we had talked, thank you for enlightening me. Yeah.
yeah, so he was the DB coach at Cincinnati. I didn't have any offers. VA kid. He said, let's keep in touch, see if something can work out. I was interested in Northwestern and trying to put on a show. I go to Northwestern the next week. I break my wrist the second day of the camp. So I come home right before my senior season, no offers. Um, Luckily, I end up having a awesome senior season. Rushed 15 yards of carry, killed it at running back. Northwestern came, then the Richmond and the William and Mary, and I ran it. Tomlin was recruiting me, but it got to a point where he could only offer me a partial, and it was all the way out in Ohio. So basically, we talked, my family talked, and he said, if William Murray, go to William Murray pretty much is
Yeah.
the advice he gave me. I
Yeah.
did not know that he went to William Murray still at this juncture.
All
Um,
right.
and basically that was the advice. So when it comes down to it, he helped influence, came down to Richmond and William Murray. My sister was at William Murray as well. And, Mike Tomlin offered that suggestion. He said it'd be a great place for you if I can't have you go there. And helped get me to William Murray. So
That's a great
interesting
story.
story, but the network and the tribe,
It
vast and
paid
deep.
off.
It
Yeah.
paid off for sure. So
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you in so many ways.
sure, for sure. Cool guy,
Well,
man.
okay. So you made the decision. You came to William and Mary actually while I was still there. So we did get an opportunity to play together or at least be on the team at the same time. And so you came in. Tell us about your time at William and Mary.
So started off academically, it was very tough. It was a transition. Even though I went to a really good high school, it was still hard. Mainly balancing, what we had to do athletically with the academic expectations. So
Absolutely.
that was, a awakening. I did participate in the summer program, so I was able to get experience with the team and get some credits under my belt, which definitely helped in the big scheme of things. So that was great. The athletic, I thought, I'm still coming off a good season, but I thought I would be able to come right in. At the time, there was Hargrove came in at running back, and then the whole rest of the running back field was flooded. Uh, so there wasn't really Grammy was there, uh, whole crew of folks. So at the time, I was doing scout team DB, and there was an opportunity there for me to try to squeeze in. So took that opportunity, redshirted, learned a lot, increased my ability at DB, and I was able to compete for a job my redshirt freshman year and get on the field. So that was, a great opportunity. Able to take advantage of that. Then, my sophomore year, actually, that summer, we're pushing, we're working hard, breaking records out there, doing our thing with Sauer, and then I head home, right before the season start, and I accidentally, lost control of the car, wrecked and broke my neck in a car accident. So that derailed, a lot of the early success I had. Gratefully, and I'm very grateful that I was able to recover. I was able to, through a lot of adversity, a lot of challenges, get back and be able to play for '04 and '05 season. And the '04 season was special at that. So it was definitely a testimony that I had to be able to be a part of that and fight back. So
Yeah, and it didn't just stop there, right? So after you were able to get back from breaking your neck, you kept playing. So tell us about your journey, post William and Mary.
yeah, so had the opportunity to play professionally in the Arena League. It was not a easy easy task, easy path. Uh, Wanted to play NFL, kind of shut me down, and I actually had talked to Tomlin. He said no one's really gonna, take you with your neck. Unfortunately, I was able to play in 2 All-Star games, so I thought I had that chance. The door was there. Played in Vegas, played in Mississippi, and the only thing available, was the Arena League at the time. So I'm working out. I'm in Williamsburg working 2 jobs, training at night, training in the morning, and flying all over workouts, Tampa, Orlando, Philly, going all over to try to work out and not getting a shot. And came Lane Campbell actually was at the Austin Wranglers.
Yeah.
So he had signed there after he left the Browns. And another William alum who I was not familiar with at the time was Partlow, Brian Partlow. So Lang was training in Williamsburg. I ended up running the Lang. Hey, he's like, oh, we got a workout in Winchester with Partlow. We're trying to find some guys. So I end up through Lang and Partlow getting a chance to go to that workout, do well in that workout, and then end up getting invited to training camp for Austin. And that's how
That's
I
awesome.
was able to start my arena career. Unfortunately, I actually pulled my hamstring, so I ended up getting cut. So
Wow.
lasted there for a few months, bounced around, went to Green Bay for A2, Arena League, lower league, which kind of really allowed me to like game myself. Like it is, I mean, we're out there playing middle of nowhere, playing for not a lot of money. We're definitely grinding on the
For the
A2 circuit
love.
for
Yeah.
the love for sure. And
Yeah.
I met some guys out there that are still, still my buddies to this day. And that grind just changed my whole mindset. Like I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna grind. And from there, I set the single season record in tackles. We made it to the playoffs, and I able to sign to the A1 team, the Georgia Force. And that was, the pinnacle of, kind of my playing career. But to go from, breaking the neck to continue on, and I played for about 12 years through different leagues is a testament. I'm
That's
blessed and
amazing.
grateful to be able to do that. So thankful for that for sure.
Yeah, and so it didn't stop there, right? You put the cleats on for the last time. Um, tell us about sort of where you are now and your journey there.
Yeah. So from there, I try to, one thing about me is I always wanted to give back and always wanted to help out. And
Sure.
from that experience, I knew that there was a higher calling and a purpose on my life. So I definitely had made some connections. I signed 1 year with Georgia, and then the league folded the next year. So I didn't even get to finish out my contract. But as we talk about it, we talk about our circle and cultivating that circle. I actually had at William & Mary in the summers, I would a bag boy at U Crops, the grocery store.
Okay.
And fast forward, Jim U Crop, every year we had to write our donor letters to the people that donated our scholarship. And my scholarship actually happened to be Jim U Crop and his family.
Wow.
So that connection, I worked at the summer, all the years at U Crops. They actually started a bank, which was First Market Bank. And I was able to get my start. I did an internship there and was able to work there. After the league folded, I was able to go back into the banking industry,
Awesome.
which was good at times. A lot of people, the financial crisis of '09, there was a lot going on where people were really struggling. It was a lot of uncertainty. So I was able to overcome that and be able to land solid. From there, I worked on some nonprofit stuff, worked on some grants, was able to, still help out in athletics. And then from there, I went back to school because I felt like my wife was in healthcare administration. I
Right.
was hearing all the dramas and all the problems that were going on from her. And so I went back and got my MBA in healthcare administration and
Awesome.
restarted that journey. And interesting story is that when you talk about opportunities and taking advantage of those, so I was trying to figure out how to transition from finance and education into healthcare, and
Right.
she ended up running into her CEO at night and was like, my husband wants, can he sit down with you just to pick your brain? So that opportunity opened the door. I got a 30-minute meeting with the CEO, met with her. She gave me some insight, gave me some advice, told me about this internship in Baltimore. So I was able to get this internship in Baltimore. And from that, it really just changed the trajectory of my career. And it's kind of like, I talk about, your circle and having faith and going out on that. That job paid me $15 an hour. So I'm starting from, all, regular salary, all this to go back to take a shot to try to make it. It's kind of like arena again. You take a shot to go to A2 to try to get an A1 contract. So it's the same grind. And basically, I had 10 weeks for $15 an hour to try to prove myself. And that experience, I remember I was in Baltimore. I was in an extended stay. I would work there, pay for the extended stay. My salary didn't even cover the extended stay. Drive home every weekend to see my family and go back to work every day. But that experience, I had two mentors there that really changed, just changed my life. Dr. Shelley Buck and Dr. Sam Ross. Those were the CEO and the CEO. And I worked directly with them during this internship. And not only were they, powerful people, they were, they looked like us. They, were polished, and they just really taught me how to move and how to operate. And they gave me an opportunity. So the 10-week got extended to another 10-week. And then in April, that I started in December. In April, I ended up getting hired to a full-time position as a project manager. And that completely changed the game. I was able to move the family up to Maryland. And since then, I've been a project manager since since '09,
That's
and
awesome.
currently similar situation. We got bought out by another company, LifeBridge Health, and now I work in the corporate project manager, operations consultant for LifeBridge. So
That's a journey, man. That is
it's
a
been a
journey.
journey, overcoming obstacles, adversity. It's
Yeah.
definitely been some ups and downs, but you know, stood tall and just keep the faith and kept moving.
Yeah, I mean, I think your journey is one that really rings of that persistence and that hard work that you had while you were in college, and you never lost it, and you're still, sort of grinding in that way. Last couple things. Tell us about, what you're doing in addition to your project management work. And then, I know you said you wanted to leave us with a little something. So tell us about your organization and then leave us with a little something.
Got you. Along my journey, I'm very, very spiritual and into, that realm. So 2911 is the name of my company, 2911 Sports, and it's a play off of Jeremiah 2911. When I was going through my accidents and all my ups and downs, that scripture always stood with me. It says, for I know I have the plans I have for you, plans to prosper. And I always felt like that stuck with me. So I started an organization strapped around sports. We want to empower, enrich, and provide experiences through sports and education for youth, so they can reach their goals. So we work with rec organizations out here. We're partnered with some other companies, and we provide that. So it's in its infancy, but we've always seen some progression so
Yeah.
far, and
Yeah.
continue to push that. I think that everyone has a talent or something that they have a calling that they're good things they do well, and things that they're good at. And
Yeah.
sports has always been that for me. It's been that support system, has always been that outlet. And I think that's passion. When passion meets purpose is where you reach your pinnacle. And that's where I'm, headed with 2911. But
That's great.
aside from that, is, I want to leave everyone with, Cason, Cason is my name, have an acronym. And I think these are the keys that I've experienced that I want to push on to, the next generation or anyone who's, able to listen. But the C is cultivate your circle. The impact of you are a percentage of the 5 people you talk to every day, right? So you're going to be a collection of them. So cultivate that circle. And if however you want that circle to be is however you're going to end up. Well, the next is A, and that's act in faith. Faith is belief in things unseen, and with faith, you can accomplish almost anything. So I wouldn't have never made it back from my injury or been able to recover or be where I'm at now without the faith, and that's very important. S is show gratitude. A lot of times we always want and we think about everything else, but be thankful for what you have now. Like I can walk and I shouldn't be able to, so I'm here talking 20 years later and I shouldn't be here. So show gratitude for what you have now and you'll get access to more. O is operating your purpose. Everybody looks at, I want to make money. I want to do this. I want a job. And the money will come. But it's when you're operating your purpose, what you're called to do, it'll be a lot easier to get to where you want to go. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to, go through a lot of triumphs if you head in that right direction. And then N is never pass up on an opportunity. I have countless stories of where, right place at the right time or taking action on an opportunity completely changed the direction of, my future and my family's future. And never passing up on opportunity and take that shot and see where it lands. And it's pretty much, Cason will leave you with that.
I love it, man. Well, listen, this has been a pleasure. I've enjoyed again just catching up with you over these years. Well, over the last couple of weeks, but
Mm.
between all of the years. And then I believe this was just an amazing interview. So I just appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with us.
No doubt, no doubt. Thank you for having me. Definitely an honor to be here. Love to see, what you're doing with this, and happy to help in any way. But definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.